No, it's not the Old West, but for those who attended the Old West Shootist convention this weekend in KCK, it was a trip back into America's past.
We are very concerned with trying to be as historically accurate as we can. So most of the people you see here at this convention this weekend will be dressed the way they really looked in the 1870s and 80s. Many of us started this because we're interested in history. A lot of the group that I'm in started out with the fur trade era, and we did that for years. And when the cowboy action shooting began in Kansas and Missouri, it was just kind of a natural transition. A lot of us were getting a little older, and you can sleep on a cot if you do this, and if you do the fur trade era, you have to sleep on the ground.
What we have here is the Union and Confederacy together amicably in one spot.
What brings us here to the NCOWS convention is and our enthusiasm in this time period is back when remembering our past.
And it's a sad nation indeed that forgets those who have gone before us individually. I wear the uniform in honor of my relatives that fought for something they believed in so deeply they were willing to give everything in its defense, as I did as a Marine in Vietnam.
Yeah, this is a hand crank sewing machine. It's a 1931, but it resembles the models back in the 1800s, the late 1800s. And it's very easy to sew on. I enjoy sewing on it more than I enjoy sewing on my electric machines nowadays.
The thing that really got us into this whole time period between which we cover from 1865 to 1899 is from being born in Nebraska and growing up in Kansas. That's really where a lot of the pioneer experience started. Just a few miles from our house is where Wild Bill Hickok had his first shootout with David McCandless. It wasn't really a shootout because Hickok was the only one who was armed and shot the guy from behind a blanket through the doorway, which is a lot different than the stories that got into all the pulp fiction type dime novels.
My name is Robert Szabo. I am a wet plate collodion photographer. I do 19th century photography, mainly tintypes, and I'm here at the NCOWS convention doing tintypes of the cowboy reenactors that are here in costume. My camera is a century camera. It's called that because it was actually built around the turn of the century, around 1900, the last century. And it has a lens on it, though, that was made in about the 1860s, I believe. And that lens possibly and probably did take pictures of actual cowboys.